The Grubs actually feel incredibly impactful in this game with the Azir and the Gwen on opposite sides here, and the power they can get with side laning. The Azir could set up Sundis turrets to look for objective control. Even mid lane control can be very powerful there if you have the Herald to get the mid turret early.
You're hooking a target that's basically unkillable. Now, Career keeps going in onto the Corki. This isn't looking good. He is going to have to flash away. Does use his Ignite. It's a lot of trade back potential, but now the flash in onto Smash, who also went too far. Duckdom has his flash too, and with the barrier coming in, Duckdom getting super low. But it's just going to be first blood going over to Peter. Career desperate for something back, and they even give the kill to Duckdom 2-0.
We might have another skirmish here, so I'll get back to it later. Peter is take a bit of damage.
He's level 6 though to Career's level 5, and Closer's here first. That's a flash away from Lucid already. Lots of poke damage though coming out from Smash, and now Showmaker gets on over. They get the kill onto Peter, but Pyosik is going to get away. Closer as well on very little mana, or rather health.
Going to be quite valuable for Shiu. Has a jungler coming up.
Yeah, the top dives for Pyosik, sometimes a little bit iffy. This time it will be as well, as Lucid is here, and Pyosik going to be slowed down. The needles though will prevent them from following, and also importantly, Closer here as the knockback does come in, and Lucid super low goes into his ult and gets a rock to the face as Closer on the roam makes a big play.
Showmaker is going to get some plate gold, but actually Duckdom is there to answer the push, so looks like nothing too crazy going to happen for this Azir in the mid lane, and they're going for a follow-up dive.
Yeah, they might as well. The depth charge is here for Peter. Shiu doesn't have his ult or flash. It's just free food, and Peter's able to tank it as well.
Without any punish. Career wants to come over and punish, but can't.
They're looking for Career now, actually, who does have his flash and Eclipse. Takes a big chunk of damage, but now Closer looking to get into the fight. They're going to get the flash out of Career for their troubles. Looking for more as Lucid going to get ulted and knocked back into the depth charge. He doesn't get to play the game, as the Xin Zhao is tanking up quite a bit, actually, with his ult, and down will go Closer as Smash doing quite a lot in this scrappy skirmish, and now Duckdom tries to go in on a Showmaker and just dies to him. And it's only Pyosik left alive against 3, and eventually he will just die to Ignite. And DNS, I was just saying, one of the ways you throw this early lead is by being too over-aggressive, and that they do. Especially at the Xin Zhao, like he's one of the best junglers at absorbing pressure, and now we're just fighting again. His Closer is going to have to flash away. And Duckdom says, hey, how about I start up this dragon? He is going to have to Valkyrie out of here, and it looks like Peter is not going to be in the pit for very long. As down he will go, Showmaker collects another kill, and Lucid hits level 11.
I don't think they do either, and that is going to be 2 dragons and the Herald. Of course, not Grubs, but Herald.
Yeah.
Which can do some serious damage on its own.
Yeah, I think they wanted to try to collapse into the fight and then realized that they were being collapsed on faster. And then they just tried to abandon ship, and it looked very silly. As now we're going in. Again, this is Lucid, level 11, an item and a half. Doesn't really care about too much, but has less of his team around this time. So will survive for quite a long time, but does eventually go down. Pyosik picks up the kill.
I don't know if it's worth if you lose 2 turrets, though.
No.
I think it's absolutely worth. Like, Lucid might be, if we were doing player of the game, like he might be the leader at 0-3-5 right now. Because he kind of just keeps pressing hard, his team is winning otherwise. You can see there's just not really a play to make for DNS's comp.
Pyosik just queued in, and now is going to spark a team fight here, so he goes back in on a Showmaker, gets the arm guard. Lucid, again, does not take any damage, but he's always in the front, so they always have to attack him. You got to pull the trigger now. You drop the Rift Herald, take the Dragon, get that on its cooldown timer so you can, you know, pressure. Instead, they're just going to try to push mid, and Lucid's going to die. Yeah, I don't know. Career gonna hit the wall as well as Duckdom's going in, nearly takes out Smash as the flash on in from Peter to block the Mystic shot. And he's gonna die instead, but now we got a Gwen in the party as Smash goes down to the Gwen. It's a massive shutdown for Dudu. And all of a sudden, one big mistake for DK, and they didn't even get the Dragon. Against Showmaker and Shiu, so they couldn't do the Dragon. So Dplus actually going to get Cloud Soul points, and obviously feels very good on this team, and also taken away from DNS feels great, away from the Gwen specifically.
The DNS get back in the game, so I can understand the caution, but maybe a little bit too passive here, Dplus.
Yeah, got to make some plays. Looks like they're
listening.
They were thinking about it. They were thinking about making a play. That's the first step for making a play.
Yeah, identify the play and then execute.
Now Peter, they're trying to collapse on this actually with a TP. A lot of DK is around, but this Gwen is going to be in a great spot, and Dplus kind of just on the run as Lucid, once again, just the punching bag. He does not have flash. Down he will go, and they just say, hey, there's a Baron here. Maybe we can take it. No. Pioshik nearly dies, and they certainly can't just take the Baron.
Or from it, and I think that might be the timing here. As the Dragon spawns, they do have that set up a little bit slower than I expected, as here's the engage.
Yeah, once again, it's DNS who are pulling the trigger, and Dplus are just running away. Career's just dead. I mean, Flash and Ignite gone, and he's just dead.
And it's just Nautilus ult. Like, they still have the Vi ultimate available here.
They're trying to fight for this. I'm not sure they're in a position to really do that, although a lot of damage does go into Peter. Pioshik going to go on a magical journey of his own and just kind of die. Meanwhile, Siu's going 1v3, takes him out. They get on top of Closer as well, and Dudu doesn't quite have the damage, gets pushed over the wall. Dukdom, though, goes back in and just dies, and the 4v5 goes handily to Dplus.
Dudu is like not able to join.
Yeah. DK just getting the Baron, by the way.
Yeah. I think that might have been the game-losing fight for DNS, because this is Dom in this game. Better than a 2-5 and 9 Xinjiao, right? Well, not really.
Lucid still POG.
People forget. People forget that Pioshik does occasionally make decision-making and judgment errors in these types of games.
We're on Vi, and you're gonna get punished for it. Now, Objective Bounty does go over to Dudu, but Dplus don't really care about that, just pushing with the Baron as much as they can. And Dudu says, I'm going to go even further. I'm thinking about this bottom inner for their second turret of the game, but the two inhibitors looks like that was kind of a foregone conclusion, so DNS do not even fight for it. Try to get some gold in the lane.
2 turrets. Unfortunately, Smash is Ezreal, so he's kind of safe.
Yeah.
He's not really very easy to kill. Zonia's and Flash
very safe.
from Showmaker, so I think this composition has unfortunately just kind of
expired.
It's expired. It's missed its windows.
I think Dudu probably gonna have to stop the top wave here soon.
Yeah, you'll have to back and then TP back to the fight.
Yeah, gonna go in onto Career. Not a big surprise there. Dukdom avoiding the public execution, and now they're going in onto Siu, but that's not a good target as Pioshik goes into his GA and Career survives. Peter gonna go down, and so should Pioshik follow. Dudu just out of the fight, not really able to do much, taking a 1v1 against Showmaker while the rest of the team just dies, although Dukdom did get 2 kills somehow.
The inhibitors respawn.
But eventually Dudu will also go down. It's a quadra kill for the Ezreal, but it's not going to be the Penta. And with a giant wave in the top lane and a lost fight, Dplus will just win game 1.
Yeah, the Ezreal comes over here as the inhibitors respawn awkwardly. So these minions will be very sad for a moment until Smash fixes that. And now the game will end. Bit of a passive one from Dplus. I think in a lot of ways played not to lose rather than to play to win quickly. But slow and steady wins the race. Everyone knows the story of the tortoise and the hare. Or a Kalista in a team fight and render them relatively useless.
Or even a Sejuani that overextends, you know. Pioshik sometimes has a propensity to do that. It's not going to be enough, so Shu just kind of laughs at him and runs away. Career is going to get hands shook, and a 3-man root comes in from Smash now as Pioshik. Yeah, the flash after the fact always feels bad. That's first blood given over to Smash already. Playmakers from the jungle can be.
Interesting Rise rotation up to the top lane here.
Yeah, this is the Faker. And they're going to just go for it under the turret, looking for the knockback. And there it is. Equalizer comes down. No flash available as he used it to try to take down Siu earlier. The burn is there, but it's not enough.
Outside of his Realm Warp, which I don't think he cares. He got value out of it.
Career definitely going down here. No flash on him. And even though Pioshik is not level 6, it's still a very nice gank because they're looking for more. We got a Jarvan coming on up. The bailout is there, and Dukdom has nowhere to go. Smash has nowhere to go. Dukdom picks up the double kill, and all of a sudden, DNS turning it around in the bottom lane. That would be...
Bro is the brand, it's the culture.
Yeah, it's all about the culture as well. As, you know, Rise group, Fries group, it does feel like we're kind of dipping in our toes in a little bit here anyway.
The Rise group culture is all about the common man. I feel like that's pretty decent.
And And then there's Oceans.
Now we don't talk. No, that one's not. That's not good for anybody.
I just thought maybe I'd bring it up. You know, I know we don't like to talk about it, but Ocean Soul does exist. Lucid going in. He's up a level. Yoshik kind of half health, and now Duck Dom. They're just going to go all in onto Lucid, it looks like, and try to play around that. Massive value on the Wild Growth, but again, no real follow-up. Duck Dom, very awkward spot for him. No ults. They're just going to have to go forward. That's what this comp does, and now Showmaker has to flash the wall as the pressure is there.
Occasion.
We love to poke fun at his garlic comments and all that.
You know, this is a pretty awkward spot for Dplus, so they're a little bit out of time, and I think this might just be the double. However,
just walk forward and press D.
as a secondary smite here, I think it's just a no-go, although Lucid has stolen objectives before.
This TP is a bit late. I mean, you're not really going to be able to do much. Double knockup comes in. The Sejuani ult gets some good value on top of the equalizer. Lucid again the target for this DNS squad. They're not getting onto the important ones, and now Peter getting pretty low due to behind enemy lines. Peter is just going to have to flash the wall. In goes Lucid trying to punish this one. The Realm Warp as well, and Duck Dom goes down to the auto of career.
And if Dplus just ignore the Dragon, frankly, that's pretty good for them too, because it is Ocean Soul, as we've talked about quite a bit, and I think this is the one way in for DNS. So if they just look at this and they go, that's a lot of vision that we don't have. I don't really like that. I'm just going to say no.
Trust the majority of our teams to make complicated macro calls, to be completely frank. Because sometimes they will just fight for no reason. It feels like the LCK has learned to do that over time. But this is definitely the right call. As you mentioned, give up the Drake, take the turret plates in the top lane, maybe even take the whole turret.
We're at our best. This is our last chance for a team fight. Dplus like, nah, I don't really want to lose, so.
Trying to go all out on a Dudu under the turret, but now we have a Rise on the way, and that turret is not very long for this world. Dudu trying to hold on to his turret. As you see that DNS are trying to get something in mid lane for this. Dudu is buying quite a lot of time, but he will not live. Doesn't look like he'll be taking out Xiu either, so down he goes to Showmaker, but DNS did get the mid-tier 1.
That was a good decisive call to push for the turret there. Sold out.
Yeah, this comp is actually literally out of stock after this game.
Yeah.
Because it's Fearless.
True.
So, yeah, just once per best of 5.
Out of season?
Yeah.
Okay, Duck Dom, hold on. He says, actually, they could be played through the early spring.
Eventually, as Engage Renata strikes again, and now Yoshik is coming on up here, and she will go down, and that is a shutdown for Duck Dom. Actually, a nice, healthy amount of gold, and Dudu can come in here and clear this wave.
Doesn't this feel kind of familiar, though, to last game, where we spend everyone to kill someone who takes forever to die, and then Dplus get all the turrets on the other side of the map?
Yeah, I do remember that happening. Just gonna ult in as Closer, doing an insane amount of damage, takes out Smash, who just neglects the ability for Closer to do that.
And maybe a Baron?
Yeah, it's absolutely
I can tell you
Baron.
what. I think Closer was not afraid of Smash, you know? I was a little afraid of Smash. I thought DNS fans need to be afraid. Closer said, no, that's no problem.
I killed that guy.
Q3, ult him, he's dead. Baron's dead. Okay, maybe a little bit too long on the side lane there. Bottom lane.
Yeah, it's gonna try to go for a singular Ocean Drake. Sometimes can be the bane of many a team here in the LCK.
Dudu's angle.
Dudu's got a fantastic equalizer and a catch once again. He gets smashed, but this time Smash lives for a very long period of time. He's extremely low. Duck Dom wants to take him out, and the bailout does not get the value, but Smash is out of the fight. This Casante doing quite a lot of work, though, on the right side. Dudu full health, though, and it looks like Dplus will have to back away from this one. As maybe DNS just get the Dragon after all of that crazy chaos.
Chaos, a near dominant fight for the side of DNS. It's a trade down in kills, but a trade up in health bars, and they are going to grab this Dragon. Lucid not willing to go for a, flag and drag steal to flash out. Not worth it for the Ocean Soul. 33 HP lives. Watch it again.
Son.
While Growth comes out, cleanses out, he flashes. Kites back, 33 there, heals up a little bit, and he's like, you can't reach, has his caliber out.
Yeah. Trying to make a play here on a Duck Dom. Renata Glass is there, looking for the bailout, not gonna get it. Wild Growth too good. Dudu in a lot of trouble himself, goes golden, but eventually will die. Showmaker picks up the kill. And just like that, Dplus Kia back in control. They lost the Drake, but it's individual Ocean Drakes. They're fine.
This Baron is, or was, quite a weak one. It's a... Callisto picks up Terminus third, which I think does make a lot of sense, but it means that she doesn't have any survivability. Cannot actually live through the big burst damage when caught in situations like that. So they got the steal away on those last few plays and sides and on the Baron, but now Dudu, let's see.
When have we seen this before? They have been punishing this Rumble so much. First pick Rumble. Have the Trinket spot this.
And Smash is going to be able to use this to hold up.
All right, Peter kind of frontlining, and Dudu might just be the guy who gets punished for it as the Realm Warp gets everybody on top of this. Even the knock-up into the Wild Growth, and the front line of DNS is just getting shredded already.
And then Callista needs to have control over objectives, needs to have a massive lead to do anything here. Like, it's like, okay, we lost our Rumble, he did a little bit of damage. What can we do to stop Baron? In truth, the best way, the best damage you can get is that Renata ultimate, having them hit each other for a second. And you don't want to waste that, by the way, that was a joke. So they just have to give it up. They have to say no.
Maybe he would just waste it and then get flashed away from Callista on the objective. And Lucid can't really get in. It's going to go down to the side of Pyosik. We got TP coming in here as well. Pyosik in the front line.
Cleanse out from Smash. He did absorb that ultimate from Pyosik.
Value there. But we'll have to wait and see. Rival Baron power play does come in. Oh, he's going to catch him once again, but this time the Wild Growth comes in and he just dies. Meanwhile, Career also elects to just die.
He has the hero play.
And he kind of missed the wave, though, so it was like, He's playing it very safely. He could tell that he's under a lot of pressure and that he's kind of the free food in this game, so.
He just needs to buy time, because on the other side of the map, we're seeing some leeway.
Like, they're not going to give it to him. That was close. So close to Smash, who has Cleanse, and Mikhail's. But still, looking for Smash, and Closer is going to hit it, but again, eventually, the Wild Growth comes in, the follow-up is not there. The Cataclysm actually making a lot of room as Duckdom is frontlining, doing a good job. Shu very separated from the team. He is going to find Duckdom here, but Duckdom just flashes away, and the front line, though, of DNS is gone as Duda goes in, gets actually a lot of value, but with Duckdom off of the game, it just means that they have enough. And Smash, he got away from so many of the threats, and he will survive until the very end of this fight. Picks up the triple kill, 15,000 damage in the fight.
15,000 damage in a single team fight. Level 18, 11, 2, and 3.
Expiration date acquired.
Yeah. He knows how to read the back of that milk carton. Didn't panic cleanse Pyoshik's ultimate. Didn't mess up anything. And even though the Yone ultimate found the angle, Career was ready to press R. We talked about the Lulu value long ago in draft. And Career, he certainly made good use of it. He did not have the greatest Wild Growth on Jarvan in that earlier Dragon fight. The engage has to be crisp. The Jhin is immobile, but there's a lot you're going to have to go through. And if you lose control of this map in the mid game, Showmaker will find you, he will kill you. Your Rakan is not safe, your Galio is not safe. Your
Scuttle, very important.
He is not going to be able to get 6 off this, I don't think. It is very close.
We're still going to essentially go all in for it as the binding not going to hit. There's the Galio. Career does not have flash, but he does have a magical journey. Closer says, we are killing this guy. If it's the last thing I do, as Peter picks up the kill.
He has been quite bloodthirsty this season. Opportunity here to look for Dragon. Showmaker going to back a little bit low on mana, and will TP into the pit. They're going for this.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, just going to have to try to get the Drake and get out, it looks like. Lucid is in here, but the smite is good from Pyosik. Cycloning just to try to get away. The disengage code comes in, and Lucid gets punished for it. And now Closer able to bully Showmaker out of position. They want more. As, you know, we have the TP coming in. Looks like it got interrupted somehow, and now Career is in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to flash, but the follow-up is there and should be very easy. A kill goes over to Pyosik, and this time DNS, a very solid early lead going their way.
Yeah, thing on this fight.
Yeah.
Career?
Looks like someone was going for a little ward walk, and unfortunately, the Bard continues to be an issue here for Career. This is the potential punish when you have a
Flashless
Renekton
Aurora
in the lane. He's got Between Worlds, but can it get away from them? As Pioshik's going to go in, there's the Cyclone. The Between Worlds does come out as Pioshik once more going to dodge the Sonic Wave. Continuing to fight as Dudu went back to the wave. But now we got a Galio coming in. And Showmaker is here as well. As they're going in, they got TP. A very wonky back and forth fight.
It's TP from Duckdom. And they're just going to say, well, that's how we secure grubs. That was the plan all along.
We just wanted the grubs. Peter just going to flash and miss everything. Very nice kick does come in. And Tempered Fate, not going to do all too much. Kind of just delays DNS and Duckdom in a rough spot. That's a nice pick. Going over to Showmaker is now Closer in a rough spot himself, waiting for that Sonic Wave to come in as...
This is really frustrating for DNS because they don't have any control.
Yeah, they're just going on in. They're going to try to catch Duckdom here.
A little bit early, though.
Do, I guess. Going in onto Lucid now, but he is Lee Sin. And we are really sending it. This time they're going to use everything and try to kill the Lee Sin. And I'm not even sure they can, although Lucid kind of runs out of dashes. And he will eventually go down.
I'm not sure what Odin told DNS about Lucid, but they really don't like him today.
The whole day. Especially the Xin Zhao game was just ridiculous. Closer, going to be rooted up basically forever. Lots of pick in this DK composition. But they're not going to... thinking about trying to go for Closer here. A little bit of ticking damage there on the backside, but...
Let's play safe.
I mean, I like how they're actually upping the tempo. Their turn is absolutely bonkers. Now, DK, they have a lot of ways to get away from the turn, but, you know, it's been a little bit scary, especially with DNS just kind of losing their mind on every engage. They're throwing everything in the chicken sink.
Has a lot of win cons to be potentially set up here if Dplus can get back that map control, but we're unable to hold on to it. Shiu is actually going to get engaged on.
He has flash, but the stuns are coming through. You can see that they're playing for it. The flash comes out, and Shiu just barely going to die to the Cyclone. Dudu tanking up the turret perfectly in a nice little set play. They get the Aurora in the side lane. DNS.
Dudu probably going to take his ult up pretty soon. Peter also with flash and ult, just denying any entry here on the left side.
Yeah.
Showmaker's out.
Just playing it slow. Is DNS waiting for DK to go in? Look at Shiu. He's already basically dead. Has to ult away. Showmaker also half health. And the Renekton just standing there menacingly makes DK have to run away. They want to get some more here as Career just going to flash out of this one. The chains will land on a Peter, but he will absolutely take that trade.
Methodical deny of the entry from Showmaker, as this is a miss.
Nice try, actually. The kick is going to land on the Duckdom, but the Sonic Wave is not. As Duckdom still holding onto his flash. Lucid alone in the back line. Nobody able to help him. As the TP does come in, at least DK got that away from DNS. But DNS going to have the Rift Herald as well. You mentioned he was holding on to that. And just looking to take out the mid-tier 1.
Can make something happen here with flash and ult on the Duckdom, who still has his flash. He's playing to the backside of Baron, though. And as Chronicler will often tell you, it doesn't do good things for your MR.
Yeah, you can see the Jhin going to open up the curtains here. She was being zoned away, but the Jhin alone is not going to be able to steal this Baron. As the smite comes through, Dudu might have to pay for it. As the Galio looking to help him out. And we have the backs already coming in.
Duckdom almost has his TP back. They could actually really turn this if Dplus overextend.
You can see that they're actually considering something, but I think now Closer getting kicked out might not be enough. The re-engage kind of half-hearted here from the set of DNS. Shiu might be a little bit of a bonus kill, although Shiu is gifted the shutdown onto Peter. And now we have the golden onto Duckdom, who is just looking to aim the long-range missile. Not going to hit there.
Wukong. And the final shot from Duckdom does not quite connect onto Career. I still think DNS are in a good position, but I think they were so close to actually practically for Dplus. They're going to have to collapse, and they're going to have to collapse quickly.
Yeah, trying to get on top of this Renekton. No easy feat with the Galio coming in. They're going to find, it looks like Smash over there, or no, it's actually Showmaker in a lot of trouble, and they're just able to CC chain him. And that's going to be the end of the LeBlanc, and maybe just Chemtech Soul over here for DNS.
Career tried his best to try to save him, but now he doesn't have his ultimate either in a 4v5.
Well, now Career's trying to engage. You can feel the desperation here for Dplus Kia. The curtain's about to end on this fourth shot.
Shiu is the only one who really has agency here, and he's just zoned away.
Well, Lucid tries to go on in. It's just going to be a flip, but the smite is good to Pioshik. and they get the kill on the Lucid as the walk comes through, and Shiu is just dead as well. Dplus Kia, this difficult composition is looking very difficult to play, especially from this far behind, and DNS just kind of press all their buttons together and do stuff like that. They take out Career, who didn't have his flash, and now with Chemtech Soul, this game is looking all but theirs.
Unfortunately for Career, I don't know if he's ever really had his flash this game. As Smash is going to be the next target here as they siege the turret a little bit too far. A bit of a step over the line.
He's getting excited, you know. He's
trying to set up his own flank, his own aggressive position. He loses that. And he's looking for an aggressive position here as well, a level down on Closer, with some friends coming over.
I don't think this TP from Duckdom... Okay, they're actually full... Okay. Well...
sometimes you send it.
17 tools on the enemy team. No Lulu, no Ezreal, none of this, you know, Giga Peel comp from the side of Dplus Kia. It's much more difficult to actually get away from Rakan Wukong, as looks like we're just trying to take the Baron down here. Lots of damage done to Duckdom, though, as maybe this is where DNS dropped the ball. It's getting pretty close, but the smite is good, and Lucid is just going to be zoned away. Although the kick does go down onto Peter, and they get that kill. Smash looking for a little bit more.
Time to exit.
Yeah. Pyoshik pretending that he was a clone and might just die. I think he has CA though, and the damage is coming through on Career. I think the wallets are just too heavy for DNS, and Dplus Kia desperate to get something after the Baron goes away.
Pyoshik hitting, by the way, like every close smite that matters in this game. Clone. And I think, you know, I was kind of maybe slightly preemptively calling it with the series on our hands moments before, but now it really feels there is just no more in. Peter has unsealed teleport to rejoin for the push to win the game. I mean, there's only 14 seconds to respawn timer here, but when this base opens, it guarantees Elder Prio, and if anybody dies during the siege, DNS can just literally end the game right now.
Yeah.
This is effectively the game-ending play.
It's essentially what Dplus Kia did in game number one.
Flank?
This is a flank that has been seen for ages and ages, so they knew this was coming. Easy chains of corruption go down on the Lucid, as he was trying to send the Hail Mary for the ages. But yeah, with the Baron still for a minute and a half, they could just go ahead and take this top inhibitor down, you would think. As Shiu trying to be relevant here, but not succeeding at that, as they are going to once again bully Career out and smack Dplus in the face with their giant wallets and take them down here in game number 3. Looks like we do have a series on our hands. Better late than never, as DNS 14,000 gold lead. They will take a Nexus tonight and bring us to a game 4.
I did not think I was going to like where this draft ended for Dplus, but ultimately the Scion and the Aatrox really kind of save it for me. I like their angle here.
It will be a advantageous trade, but at the end of the day, it is Scion. We do have Pyoshik in the pit.
Yeah, Pyoshik is ready to challenge this. No ultimates for the supports here.
I mean, he wasn't able to deny the smite, but it looks like Lucid's got his upgraded, whereas we don't have the same for Pyoshik. So
I thought he might. He has obviously had very little jungle attention.
Oh! Big arrow gonna force a flash. Nice one there from Smash.
Smash attention is real though.
And Victor loving this 1v1. Showmaker going in, but guess who's here as well? It is the Nico and the Nafiri. The charm comes in and Showmaker just dies instead. As now Lucid is just, yeah, Lone Wolf dying to Pyoshik. And that's 2 kills over to the side of DNS just like that, 10 minutes in. Being very annoying on the Ashe.
That's another wave gone, and there's no answer.
Oh, they're gonna land the root on a Peter, who just throws up the Pop Blossom and says, "Witness me."
It must have been a large trading pattern that eventually gave him a big enough edge. Smash is ultless, but he is also kind of close by, so Pyoshik may want to think twice about this, as he is going to show up, and Pyoshik's like, oh, not again.
Just going to try to steal it, not going to get it.
And like the way that bottom side, like the timing for that play from Smash and Career there is enough to get them 2 dragons in a row.
I guess so.
His ring finger was ready, Valdez. That's where it was going.
Ring finger on W, that's crazy. Shouldn't it be on Q? Dude, do you have your pinky on Q?
I saw as I pressed W with ring. Sometimes. That might be a bit of a psychopath,
That's
but
a bit non-standard, but you are a lefty, so I guess it's par for the course. They're trying to take down Dudu here with pretty much everything, and I think they will be successful. They do take him out, although the Rift Herald will go the way of DNS. Pyosik picks up the eye, and now just has to try to survive with that one. Duckdom also in a rough spot, is going to have to flash away, but yeah, no volleys here. Flash forward from Xiu. Not quite going to be enough damage, though, and now Xiu kind of in no man's land. But
as I thought with the quick cut, we had something happening in live,
yeah.
but the sacrifice for him does end up getting them the Herald. If he didn't flash there, I think they'd feel even better about it.
Yeah. So it looks like Dplus kind of just have to give this Drake away. You can see Lucid's hanging around, but just kind of waiting in the lack of vision. DNS going to move forward as a team, though, after the Drake take. Maker, he just doesn't really exist in this game. Like, every lane he goes to, he's just getting bullied, and now he gets stunned up, past the Spirit Rush away.
I don't know if that's worth for Dudu, though, because I think he kind of just had him bullied, and he ulted so early that Pyosik couldn't come in and secure the kill. They don't get the flash either.
And now they're just going to ult on the Lucid. They know they have the advantage, and they're going to find this Aatrox, as there is the Encore. Doesn't really do anything, as that Nefiri getting so much value, avoiding all the CCs. Slow comes down on a smash.
As Dudu is having a phenomenal series, I think very quietly having a very consistent performance here. And he is the one who was able to push the Ahri away, now controlling this lane, and we'll have a Crystalline Overgrowth to proc to grab the turret. He's looking for his second item here very soon. And even though it's only the burn urn, that damage does add up over time as he continues to harass. Because the Rod of Ages is going to give you enough survivability alone. You don't really need Seraphs in this game. You know, you don't need to go tier and play for that.
So they are set up here on this Dragon, but DNS are not going to let them get this one for free. And already the damage is being done here. Xiu trying his best to zone away Closer. Not going to be very successful. It goes down to 1 health, and Pyosik is able to get it as they're charging into a Slicing Maelstrom. Generally not the right call. As no stun goes on to Dudu, and now Peter finds the angle from the top side, but the damage follow-up isn't there. As Duckdom desperately trying to do something, but he is just backing away, and it looks like DK at least are able to clean up the fight in a big way. And now they're moving towards that Baron.
Yeah, Closer's E's do a lot of damage, but with this Seraphine, the heals will come through, and even has his heal summoner here, and I think that the damage will largely be blocked, and they can now just take this out. Doesn't have his second item yet, Career, but was very patient with his Encore in that fight. Could have used it instantly there to try to lock down the cannon, but he knew the damage had been done. The cannon was essentially neutralized by the arrow. Cryo, set up that vision. Career has flash, right? He's going to get that second item. I actually went Moonstone, in fact. Didn't even realize that. So his diadem is very late. But if he does get that item eventually, the diadem, it's going to be huge for him. Moonstone feels fine, honestly, in this case.
The map, it looks like DNS are essentially saying, well, okay, we lost that fight, we lost the Baron, we can't force a fight here where Duckdom doesn't have any sums, and, you know, they're just having so much pushing power and map control in this game. They're just trying to clear the waves and essentially not die and let the game go away just yet. But that just means that Dplus are going to get this very strong lead now.
Xiu just needs to mark the cannon because they didn't have vision between mid and obviously where they're pushing here heavily in the bottom lane. But as long as cannon can't find that flank angle, I really don't think there's any threat here.
And you can see already a bunch of damage is going to go into Closer. He's just going to flash away. They don't want to play any part in these team fights right now while the Baron push is going.
Yeah, but that might have been enough to really knock down this inhibitor turret. Still 30 seconds left on this Baron, and there's a cannon minion here. Peter?
Okay, Peter going to go for it. Forces a couple of flashes, but might have to pay for it with his life. Although Lucid just gets burned down. Nobody able to heal him up. It's now Pyosik, the only one to get charmed, and Showmaker just on the run. You can see a lot of damage done to the side of DNS, but they stopped the push for now.
Someone had to pull the trigger, or that inhibitor turret was going to go. And once it goes, the next wave hits.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Dplus Kia and you've got Scion, Seraphine, as that's going to be a very nice arrow here in Pyosik, who already takes a ton of damage, does go up into the sky. Xiu desperately trying to ult into him and take out the big dog. He's not going to be successful in doing that, but Duckdom kind of in the front line here. They're looking to take him out, trying to block with the clone as well as Duckdom is flying very close to the sun, but he's going to live, as now Showmaker desperately trying to get on in there, and he will be successful due to not finding the slicing maelstrom he was looking for, and it's only Closer. As waiting for a charm to come through, he is going to hit it, and the slows are going to come through. It looks like Smash will take him down for the triple kill as Dplus take a huge fight.
Despite Peter's best efforts to keep Duckers alive, he goes down, and Dplus 50 seconds on the victor. They think they might have an angle here to look for the end. Showmaker backs, grabs the bloodletters, and Pioshik here has to do some shenanigans to buy time. I don't think it's going to be enough. Big wave.
He can't get close enough to clear the waves, and Peter on the Nico, he's going to try to land a root, but they just encore and burst him out, and all they have to do is hit the Nexus, and Smash takes one better than that. Looks like Dplus Kia will be moving on to the next round against T1.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.